Is Bill Clinton a lizard person? That is exactly what an ally of Tom DeLonge, Bill Tompkins, told Chris Bledsoe when Tom DeLonge brought him to meet Chris. This is a crazy story, so let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like. Please subscribe and smash that bell to be notified of future videos. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I'd love to see you there. And please comment on the story as I'm going through it. I'm reading the book, Chris Bledsoe's book, U.F.O. of God right now. Truly amazing read. I devour everything I can get on the Chris Bledsoe story. I mean, the dude met a goddess. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just an incredible story. He met the lady, whoever that ultimately turns out to be, whether she's a real goddess or a alien or a higher dimensional being or who knows what the lady actually is. I would love to know. But his is such a fascinating story, highly corroborated. People from the CIA and NASA take him very seriously. They have become family friends of the Bledsoes. He sees lots of UFOs and orbs and all sorts of stuff, and that has been corroborated by many other people. So just a great case, and it's no surprise that Tom DeLonge sought him out and wanted to befriend him. And it's interesting that he took along Bill Tompkins, and I'll get more into who Bill Tompkins is later, but he's an interesting guy and a serious guy. So when he says crazy stuff like you will hear from Ryan Bledsoe that he said, well, you know, it's not as easy to dismiss as it could be. So what did he say? Well, I'll just let Ryan, who is Chris Bledsoe's son, share the story. Here goes.
My dad has met Bill Tompkins, the guy who supposedly built the ships for the space program. You know, do you know who I'm talking about?
I was referring to some of his, I was thinking actually, sorry, of some of his illustrations in my head as I was describing it. William Tompkins, correct, right.
Yep, and he sat there at a little Starbucks, I don't know what you call it, patio seating outside.
Yeah.
My dad, Tom DeLonge, the Blink-182 guy,
yep.
and Bill Tompkins. And they sat there and they tried to shop my dad. Shop him as in win him over. And he sat there and he told my dad that Bill Clinton is a 9-foot-tall reptilian. He eats little girls. They slit their throat. They drink the blood and suck the life force out of their body. They zap us with these machines when we die so that they create this little hologram of a light. And when our consciousness goes to it, they reincarnate us back over. And the big secret that the government's been hiding, everybody, is that we're a cattle farm for lizards that live in caves, and the queen and the presidents are lizards. By the way, that's the same shit that everybody's reading online. So if they're saying it, you know, and they're meeting my dad, who he is, been studied by the CIA and NASA and all this shit, and then he's meeting this guy and he's going to start spouting all this mumbo jumbo. It's obviously not true. It's just, it's an agenda. It's these officers have this compartmentalized agenda to spew a certain story, like actors, to trick the world.
So who is William Tompkins? Who is this guy that Tom DeLonge was bringing to meet Chris Bledsoe? Well, this is a long article about him. I'm not going to read all of it. I'll just read a paragraph or two. Selected by extraterrestrials. Okay, all right, what's this all about? With such an illustrious career, Mr. Tompkins had extensive experience in advanced space research relating to spacecraft and their missions. His experience included 4 years in naval intelligence studying extraterrestrial space threats, 12 years as engineering section chief for the Douglas Missile and Space Division, 4 years as corporate director of North American Advanced Space Research, and 4 years as program director of the 2020 Advanced Anti-Sub Warfare Program. Bill was also the founder and a chairman of the Advanced Space Concept staff for the think tank within TRW Space Systems. Additionally, he was a member of the corporate headquarters Red Team at General Dynamics Corporation. All of that experience led to Bill's membership in MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and he did extensive research into extraterrestrials and UFOs. In fact, Bill wrote a multi-volume autobiographical study on the subject entitled Selected by Extraterrestrials, which can still be purchased. In this book, Bill states that our planet has been a battleground for warring extraterrestrial cultures for thousands of years. The result, he posited, has been wars, destruction, and attempts to hinder progress by some. However, Bill also suggested that assistance from extraterrestrials could explain the great spike in technological innovation during the 20th century. Bill believed that he and many other uniquely talented people had been gifted with skills that more closely reflected the capabilities of human intelligence when not held back by outside forces. Regardless of your opinion on UFO phenomena, Mr. Tompkins took on this subject with the same passion and attention to detail that he put into his miniature fleet. While autobiographical, the book is highly technical and makes for a very interesting read. Bill also spent 47 years in the Navy League of California and was the founding chairman and president of the Southern Oregon Navy League Council. He was also the state vice president of the Oregon Navy League of the United States. Interesting cat, right? Yeah, so Bill Tompkins is not an easy guy to dismiss. He's a guy with a lot of credentials, a serious guy, not a crazy tinfoil hat wearing nut job on the street corner. When he talks about lizard people doing what they are said to do in this version of events, it's not as easy to dismiss as it could be. And the idea of evil lizard people and reptilians draining loosh and other stuff, doing bad things, has been around for a while. And it's corroborated by various accounts. Even, Robert Monroe, the out-of-body guy, his out-of-body experience when he realized, or he had this experience when he was given this information that, it's all about loosh. And so very alarming stuff. I hate the whole loosh stuff, especially when you see it, corroborated. It's not a pleasant paradigm. It's not a pleasant narrative. And, but that all leads back to the lady, the goddess, the being who may or may not be the goddess Hathor, or possibly 1/3 of the original Holy Trinity in the Christian religion, the mother, instead of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Originally, it is said, and it is thought, and there's evidence to back this up, that it was the Father, the Mother, and the Son. And she is the mother, according to some information. So, who is she? I don't know. But she gave Chris various prophecies and wisdom. And one of the things that she said was that humanity needs to think of the phenomenon as benevolent and positive and loving. And if humanity didn't, that it would be on the path to ruin. So, what does that mean? Does she mean that we are co-creating these experiences, and that if we don't create them in a positive way, we will create them in a negative way, and maybe the negativity will take over? Does she mean something completely different? I don't know. I don't know what she means. Chris did not expound on that. And, it's open to interpretation what she meant by that. But she also warned Chris of deception and how people would deceive humanity into thinking the phenomenon was negative. So, is that what this is? Has Bill Tompkins and David Icke and Bob Monroe and the people that are seeing these evil reptilians draining loosh and whatever it is they're doing, have they been deceived by some actor or actors or entity or some aspect of the phenomenon that is negative, or some part of our collective consciousness that leans in that direction, or I don't know. I mean, I can invent all these reasons. John Keel believed in this energy field, and how we think and act is how what we get from the energy field. We can manifest from the energy field. So at least that's my understanding. And if you want to correct me, please do. But is that what we're dealing with? Is that what the lady is referencing? It's very interesting. Some people talk about the control system. Jacques Vallée talks about the control system and how the phenomenon seems to represent just that. But the lady in Chris Bledsoe's experiences actually imbued him with compassion and love for all life. So, is that part of the control system, I ask you, or is that something more spiritual? Let me know in the comments below what you think about this, and what you think about this crazy story that Bill Tompkins was sharing about Bill Clinton being a reptilian, and about the whole reptilian thing. I don't know if how familiar you are with the whole narrative of the reptilians, and how they are these evil beings draining energy and doing terrible things on Earth into humanity. But it's a dark and grim narrative, and I don't like to focus on it, because I do think that we co-create a lot of these experiences, and that it's you want to create some positive experiences. You really do. And so I don't focus on that. Because I don't want to have those experiences, and I don't want you to have those experiences either. All of my experiences, and I'm not a super experiencer like Chris Bledsoe at all, but all of my experiences have been very positive, very, very positive, or not good or bad, except for one occasion where I sought out the negative. I did ghost hunting for several years, and one time I had a bad encounter with a negative entity. But in that case, I had sought it out. I had sought out the negative. When you go into haunted places, expect haunts. So, lesson learned, right? But all of the experiences that have come to me, that I have experienced naturally, have been very positive. And I want to, or not either, not good or bad, but either benign or benevolent, I would say. All of my experiences have been that have occurred to me naturally. So I want you to have those experiences, and I want to share positivity and love. However, as much as I say that, I also want to get to the truth behind things. And I don't want to put blinders on to the phenomenon. So I will report on what is actually going on and what I'm actually seeing in the world, while at the same time trying to be positive, but honest. That is my mission. Let me know what you think. Do you think the world is being run by evil lizard people draining loose? Or is that a deception, the sort of deception that the lady warned Chris Bledsoe about? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Please hit like and subscribe. Join me on social media. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.